Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your monthly reading for May 2025. This is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right into it. If you are new to my channel, I'm going to give you your astrological overview. Then I'm going to do your spread. Then I break it down week by week. I pull more cards. I go through some other aspects that will impact you. And then we'll do the second spread. Now, Pisces, I hope that you are strapped in. I hope that you got popcorn. You got popcorn. You know, you're my secret crush. I'm going to give you the forecast of your lifetime right now, and I might have to spend a lot more time with you. You are going through one of the most pivotal times of your life, and you're going to see a lot happen in May. May is going to be a very pivotal month for you, so let's talk. Okay, let's talk. I'm going to give you a lot more than I've given some of the other signs, but I want to welcome you to an incredibly historic, paradigm shifting, groundbreaking, epic making month. Okay, we're here. No, you, me, nobody on this planet has experienced what we're about to experience in May. It is a landmark month with Saturn leaving your sign and moving into Aries. And we're going to break that down because it's not just that. All right. So if you recall from your 2025 annual forecast I did for Pisces, I said this is the year of the Great Awakening. Here we are. All right. Remember, there's stuff on the back. Just wait until we get to the back. I said this is the age of ascension, the age of wisdom, awareness, the year of the snake shedding skin. You are truly transforming. You got the North Node in your sign, Pisces. We're in the year of 9, the end, fulfillment, completion, preparing for 10, which is 2026, the year. And again, some things bear repeating. 2026 is the year, okay? And remember, 9 is humanity, too. And you see humanity is changing, and the collective is changing, and the world is changing. But just remember the 4 C's, as I told you, all right? The themes of now, community, collective, consciousness, and courage, okay? And the reason why you're going to feel this month really strongly is, well, this year, you know all the planets change signs, all of them, right? But it's the 4 outer planets, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, your ruler, and Pluto, okay? All changing signs in such a compressed time frame that we've never seen in our life. They're all moving to fire and air. Have we seen that? They're all moving from feminine to masculine. Have we seen that? No. And they're all aspecting, and this is why I've harped on that 0 degree point, the world axis, the creation degree, a critical degree of great change and new beginnings, the beginning of the beginning. You know that we're leaving the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. That's happening right now. And so when I told you that big wave that happened starting in your birthday season, mid-March, that big wave that you were on, it brought you here to May. One of the best months of 2025. This brand new era, brand new even area in your life. Like everything's changing now. The third of the 4 outer planets, Saturn, changing signs, moving into Aries the first time in 30 years. Sure. It happens every 30 years. We'll talk about some of y'all Saturn's returns later though. But Saturn is now joining Neptune. Remember, Neptune moved into Aries last month. And they're going to be together for the first time in hundreds of years. So we have to consider what's happening this month special. Expect great change, Pisces, great things, great new beginnings. Please look at my live streams where I channel. I give you predictions. I talk about things that impact you outside of your forecasts because I never have time. These go over an hour. I talk about the geophysics affecting Earth. The world is changing. I told you that, but you play a part in the collective, which is shifting, which is awakening. You are awakening. Therefore, you're having greater power. And so I've asked you, I think it was last week, how will you contribute to humanity, to the collective, to society, to your family? Okay? That's what's happening. And you're going to be thinking about that a lot. All right? Now, May, no oppositions. Wonderful. There's only 2 squares. Wonderful. A piece of pie. Oh, and I'm going to walk you through it. And remember, I'm talking about planetary aspect. So yeah, there will be oppositions and squares and, all that with the lunations and the asteroids that we talk about in the weekly spread, the second spread. But for the first 2 weeks, you are in Taurus season, which is very grounding. So please spend time in nature. Realign your frequencies, align your frequencies, because you're feeling a lot of fiery energy. You're feeling amped up. You're ready to go. You're 20 steps ahead. You're feeling ambitious, tenacious, empowered, and enthusiastic. And I want you to. And you're going to feel that running through May. Why? Because Mars is in Leo in your 6th house of everyday activities, your routines, your habits, your lifestyle, work. Okay? Mars is fiery in Leo, and also creativity and health. And then you got Venus in Aries, another fire sign, all month long. You got money on your mind? You will. Okay? We'll talk about that. Use it. Use these aspects. Now, remember, and I'm dropping this forecast at least a week before the May begins. And so remember, you got a new moon in Taurus that kicked off May. And so you're going to feel that energy for the first 2 weeks of May. As we're in Taurus season, that new moon in Taurus in your 3rd house of communication, of writing, of researching, of launching new businesses, of your local community, of your siblings, your aunts, uncles, cousins, okay? Neighbors. You got a lot of 4th house. You got a lot of 4th house activity that we'll talk about, okay? You got a lot happening. Communicate. You're going to have to, this is a month of communication. You're going to see how active Mercury is, the planet of communication and the mind, ideas, right? And Mercury's going to be in 3 signs this month. I told you it's fiery. It's heat's moving fast. It's fiery. But obviously the big thing is Saturn moving into Aries, and we will talk about that. That hasn't happened since the 90s, 96, 99, okay? Think about that time. All right? When it comes to money and resources and material possessions and your income and finances, but also, if you're not here for money, self-worth and self-value. Okay? Confidence, building that confidence. It's just a vibration. That's all it is from 30 years ago, because you got Neptune now. So it's going to be very different with Saturn and Neptune and Aries from what you experienced in the 90s. Okay. Now remember the blue asterisk, the best aspects of the month. And if you are taking notes, please just go ahead and circle the entire last week of May. It is so bonkers, auspicious. It's bananas. Okay. Enormous. We'll talk about it. All right. You're going to be in a completely different area of your life. A lot of y'all are moving. Yeah. A lot of you are moving or buying property or thinking about moving, or, maybe overseas, or, there's something happening with home, with parents, with family, with children, your significant other. Now, you are definitely on the huge brink of change. All right. And it's all leading up to June, which is not only another one of the best. I remember summer's great. And so June is not only one of the best months of 2025, it's the luckiest month of 2025. And I've already hyped this up for you. Look at your annual forecast, but I'll leave you some breadcrumbs. Okay. Just get excited about the direction you're moving. Now, I do have to address, some of y'all are still leaving comments about this. I have to address this in every video. All right. About your sun and rising. And I talk about this in the April 2025 live stream. Again, watch my live streams, but it's in the title Sun Rising. Okay. And so, yes, you have to read both your sun and your rising, because that completes the full picture, your forecast, your horoscope. If you watch just for your sun, you only got 50%. You got to watch your rising too. If you don't know your rising, I tell you in that video. If you don't know your birth chart, I tell you how to get it in the video. If you don't know what time you're born, I talk about it in that video. Watch the video and I'll leave it at the end of this video, okay, or in the description box. But again, your sun is only half your sign, okay, or your horoscope, and that's just how it is, okay. Remember when horoscopes came out in the early 1900s in newspapers, it was just sun signs. So our brains are just trained to think about, okay, that's just it, sun for over 100 years, right? But think about the thousands of years where it was sun and rising. All right. And your moon, yes. A lot of y'all are asking about your moon. Hugely important. And that's why I do talk about the lunations and the second spread in the weekly forecast, because I've told you that the moon aspects are very often stronger than the planetary aspects. Okay, so, and everything that I say here, if I bring up the moon, yeah, it'll affect you as a Pisces. But if you know your moon sign, watch it. That's specific to you. So, Pisces, when you feel emotional or emotionally charged or extreme or even burnout or emotionally drained or defensive, or your maternal side comes out, or your paternal side, or there's things going on at home and family and loved ones and relationships, or you have really strong, intuitive, psychic level energy, everything that I just mentioned, that is your moon. Okay? So, and May will have enormous moon aspects, all right? But you will love May. And there's something really special that's happening in May. And I just want to remind you, Pisces, life is a miracle. Literally, we have the uncanny, perfect conditions to make all of this work, where we're alive, where we get to breathe. So please remember that. And remember and take advantage of all the universe offers you, especially in May, please. You know I'm here for you, and I want the best for you, and I want you to make the most of it, because life is full of opportunities, especially in May, and I want you to take them, okay? Now, let's get started. Friday, the 2nd, Venus is conjuncting Neptune, Friday, May 2nd. All right? Big. This is really big for you. Huge. I'm going to tell you why. I'll talk about more your weekly forecast next week, by the way. Just know, this has never happened. Nobody's experienced Venus conjuncting Neptune in Aries. It's been over 164 years. This is another new experience. And this is big because it's happening at 1 degree, which happens to be the Aries degree. Remember, Aries is the initiator. Yeah? And you are going to feel this strongly. Neptune is your modern ruler. So what does this mean for you? Venus conjuncting Neptune, you're going to feel even before you move into May. You're going to feel it up to a week after. But again, this is when they perfect. This is the hot spot on the 2nd. This is you taking action for what brings you pleasure, what you desire, yeah? But with compassion, spirituality, ideals, imagination, intuition, creativity, all of that, the arts, all of that. That is this big package here with Venus conjuncting Neptune. Now, remember what I said. It's happening in Aries. Aries for you, Pisces, rules your 2nd house. Money, salary, finances, income, material possessions, the things that you desire. What do you want? What does your heart want? Yeah? That's going to be on your mind, but you're going to have creative visions about it. You're going to be taking action here. You're going to do something where your heart just moves in that direction. Remember, if you're not here for money, the 2nd house is also your self-worth. Okay? Am I getting paid what I'm worth? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what's happening. All right? This is a symphony. I want you to use it. Little sister, big sister, Venus, Neptune. They both represent music. All right? Remember, I've told you sound is therapy. It's healing. It's vibrations. I want you to feel this in your soul. I want you to play music that moves you. Okay? Please do it. Please. Please. I've talked about hemi-syncing. Yeah? In my live streams. Take a look. Okay? It's life-changing. Kick up those gamma waves. But Pisces, y'all are already so intuitive. You're just going to feel this. Now, the other thing, these 2 planets both represent creativity. But remember what I said, you got Mars and Leo, which Leo rules the domain of creativity. So you got it coming 3 different ways. So remember, what is the root of creativity? Create. Please create. But your creative energy is going to be off the charts. This is a great aspect for singers, writers, actors, dancers, filmmakers, photographers, moms. It doesn't matter. Everyone is affected. Okay? But really, really, really wonderful. And y'all are so... Listen, remember, this is great for world building. Okay? The world that you want to live in, the world that you desire. Vision it and put yourself on that timeline. It bears repeating. And I say this again and again because I want you to have this in your consciousness. Neptune, visual, yeah? Visualize, vision boards, your vision, visualizing your goals, your finish line. Put yourself there. Put yourself on that timeline with confidence. It's Aries energy, confidence. Venus is money. In your second house of money, that's going to be a big theme for you. You want money? Visualize it. Venus is love and relationships. Do you want that? Visualize it. I've said visualization, it's not just spirituality and manifestation, it's literally neuroscience. We know this. I've told you this. It literally creates new neural pathways in your brain. Please visualize. Okay? And plant seeds for your vision. It's happening in Aries at 1 degree. Plant seeds right off the bat of the month. You got this portal of inspiration and passion and creativity and self-love. In your second house of self-worth and self-value, self-love comes first. Yeah? Please use this. I love this. All right? Now, this is okay. Pisces. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something else. We normally talk about this in the second spread with the lunations. Remember, I just talked about how strongly they can impact you. Well, guess what's happening this day? The moon, which rules Cancer, will be in Cancer. Why is this such a big deal for you and no one else but you? And maybe one or two other signs, but you? Because the moon in Cancer is going to trine Venus. It's going to trine Saturn, still in your sign. It's going to sextile Uranus. It's going to trine Neptune, your ruler. It's going to trine the North Node in your sign. And it's going to sextile the South Node. And remember, Cancer rules your 5th house of what? Creativity. So you get it 4 ways. 5th house is not just creativity. It is love. It's joy. It's pleasure. Use this. It's true. It's sex too, procreation, but artistry, self-expression, even hobbies. But you see what's happening here, Pisces. You've got the 3 most feminine planets, the moon, Venus, and Neptune, all perfect harmony working for you. Use this, please. It's so special. Now, if you are a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon, and this is something actually I do for y'all. So more specific to you, or if you watch for your mother or your sister or your boyfriend, whoever it is, cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, Taurus, and you will feel this aspect the most. And if you know your personal birth chart, your natal chart, if you have any planets between 29 to 2 degrees in fire signs, that would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Oh, you will feel this. Now, what else can I tell you? Oh yeah, Sunday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Oh, stop. Pluto goes retrograde. Pisces, y'all crack me up. So this is great. We hear the word retrograde and we're like, no, this is good. Okay. Because remember, Pluto has that intensity and it's going to be retrograde until October. So this is great. Remember, I said this is going to be an amazing summer. Now, why is this good? Because this is all about your inner growth. Pluto's transformation. Transformation comes from within. This helps you with your personal empowerment. So I really want you to feel this. Why is this such a good thing for you? Because Aquarius rules your 12th house. You're the native ruler of the 12th house. This is going deep. Okay? Even psychologically, this is unrooting things. If anything is holding you back for your transformation in a year of transformation, of shedding skin. Yeah. All right. So really great. Now, Monday, May 5th, you got Mercury, sextile Jupiter. I'm only telling you a couple signs this because we'll talk more about it, if at the end or in your weekly forecast next week. I'm going to tell you this because this, please take advantage. This is the only Jupiter aspect we have this entire month. Okay? Again, this is outside of the lunations. Of course, there's going to be wonderful Jupiter aspects with the moon, with the asteroids, with the planetoids, but sextiles are windows of opportunity. Please use this. Okay? Jupiter, luck, good fortune, abundance, profit, wisdom, expansion. So this is great for planning your future on how you can expand, Plant seeds. Plant seeds. Okay? This is you becoming wiser. Remember, the seeds that you plant, Jupiter is the water. It expands. It grows. And so here, when you got Mercury and Aries in your second house of income and salary and finances and self-worth and material possessions, like that Honda Civic you've been eyeing, whatever it is. I mean, here you go, right? Jupiter and Gemini is in your fourth house. So a lot of y'all are going to maybe sign leases or buy a house or something with land. Or there may be something here about family, okay? Significant other, ancestry, okay? Your children as well, or parents or grandparents. But there's something here that's great for contracts, agreements, travel even, okay? Marketing ideas, things like that. Now, the other thing is Tuesday, we'll talk about this in your weekly forecast. It's Venus XL Pluto, okay? Just pick your favorite White Lotus character, all right? Because this aspect is power, it's sex, it's money, it's secrets. Things are going to come up, all right? But anyway, it's active for everybody, but you're definitely going to feel it. And there's something here again, I think, with you, like something with money here for you. Now, the 10th, May 10th, we got Mercury moving into Taurus. So now you got Mercury and the Sun together in Taurus. All right, great, wonderful. Taurus does rule your third house. And so remember how I said you're going to be very social. And please do, you never know what doors can open for you. Never close yourself off to any sort of communication. Email, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, DM, it doesn't matter. So what does this mean? For the next 2 weeks, because this is different from Mercury and Aries, okay? You bode well with that Taurus energy. This is all about taking a step back for 2 weeks and looking at your path forward, okay? Looking at the big picture. Does this make sense? What are my next steps? And this is all about gains and profit and planning. So you got this for 2 weeks in your third house of communication. Please communicate. You're going to be traveling too. Some of y'all, it's short distance. Yeah. And there's going to be family stuff all month for you. Okay. Now, and some of y'all launching new things or learning something new. You're going to be very curious about doing new things. Now, oh yeah, you will. Now, remember what I just said, Sun, Mercury together in Taurus. Don't forget, you got Uranus and Taurus too. You got Uranus and Taurus for 2 months left. You've had Uranus and Taurus since 2018 in your third house of communication. Everything I just said. Okay. So Uranus is the great awakener. It's all about breakthroughs. Okay. So another thing to ask yourself for the next 2 weeks, what are my breakthrough goals? What can I shake up from routine? What's going to help my personal freedom? You've got to do something different. You have, and this is when you're going to know what you got to do. Okay? Now, we go to the full moon in Scorpio. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay? This is big. We'll talk about it more, obviously, in your weekly. But remember, full moons are culmination, reflection, endings, turning points. Now, if you're new to astrology, the moon in Scorpio already has an intensity. But now you got a full moon in Scorpio. But that's not it. Okay? There's a couple other things that make this full moon a little intense. It's how you handle it, though. Remember that. So, on the 17th, and we'll turn this around in a second, we do have a Uranus Cazimi. It's strong. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel it the week before, week after, and it's going to be opposing the full moon. Remember, oppositions with the lunations. So there could be some surprises here. Yeah, sure, with home, family, maybe even a female figure involved, or money, finances. Okay? There could be something big, especially for you. Scorpio is, pretty much like wealth building. And then we are in Taurus season, yeah, a finance sign. And then you've got all this energy in Aries in your second house of money and income. Yeah? So just keep that in mind. Again, if you're not here for money, this Scorpio rules your ninth house. This can just be huge spiritual awakening. Because the ninth house is spirituality. It's your belief system, your perspective, how you see things. Full moons illuminate. There's going to be something here where you are going to have this moment of, I have to see this, or I had to see this. This needed to come out because it can be you revealing something. Remember, Scorpios are all about going deep and revelations. All right. And again, you got travel so active. You could be coming back from a trip, or you could be planning a big trip around this time, like a big one, like a wellness journey, like a walkabout. Okay. Like a white lotus. You're going to one of those White Lotus properties. All right. Or those spas. Anyway, ninth house is also book publishing and broadcasting. Is that anything? You got the two houses of education activated too. Is there something new that you're learning? Is there something new that you want to learn? Or is there something that where you are teaching others something? You're being the role model here. All right. Just remember, it's all about your personal transformation, that Scorpio energy. All right. Now, and don't forget, we're coming out of that new moon in Taurus anyway. All right. So again, there's still a lot of Taurus energy, and that is your third house of communication. So you're going to have to communicate and be open to communication. You, Pisces, you. But this is your big caterpillar to butterfly moment, shedding skin. Think of the death card in tarot. It's attributed to Scorpio. It's all about transformation. There's a lot more to this full moon that we will talk about when we get to it, but it will trigger the North Node in your sign and Saturn in your sign, and the South Node in Virgo, partnerships and relationships. There may be something here. I do want you to think about November 1st, 2024. What happened? What was a new thing that was happening in your life? Think about that day in the 2 weeks. Think about the entire month. Think about the entire month, but strongly the first 2 weeks. What happened? This is corresponding to that one. Okay. Now, one of the other things that's happening this day that I'll just talk about briefly because it will have a big impact on you. Mercury will square Pluto. That's our first square. Okay. And that's deep. It's Mercury squaring Pluto. Pluto, again, in your 12th house. That's deep. And there's an intensity to that. So that's intensity on top of intensity. Okay. It's not on the whiteboard, but I'm telling you. All right. And remember, I've talked about polarities. Pluto can take Mercury's energies to extreme. Mercury in Taurus in your third house of communication. Be mindful. And Mercury's the mind, ideas, processing, thinking, analyzing. Be very mindful around this full moon, okay? Because you can, here's the thing, the 12th house, yes, it's great. It's everything beyond the physical plane. It is like your dreams, and it's rest and it's retreat and it's secrets though. And the lower expressions of the 12th house would be self-sabotage. It would be hidden enemies. And so remember how full moons reveal. There could be someone that you see, I don't think they're on my side. And Pisces, as I always say, you are one of the most intuitive signs. There's going to be things that come up and you're going to feel a little bit of a squeeze. So stay frosty, be cool, be responsive, not reactive. And you can use this. I tell you all the time, work with this energy for empowerment. Pluto is empowerment. Unroot things, okay? And one of the reasons why, what's going to happen in 2 weeks from now, Mercury will trine Pluto. You got something great waiting for you in 2 weeks, okay? And so just, think about things that you do want to unroot, okay? Because Mercury square Pluto is the reporter, it's Mulder and Scully. It's the psychologist, the intellectual, the psychic. It's all of that. By the way, I have Mercury square Pluto in my birth chart, in my natal chart. I've worked with that energy my entire life. I'm living proof you can use this to your advantage for the greater good. Now, if you do watch for your rising or your moon, or for, your grandma, whoever, okay? Fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. If you are new to my channel, I am an Aquarius. Okay, they're going to feel this the most. If you know your natal chart, and I'm going to give it a wider orb here because of Uranus. If you have any planets between 20 to 27 degrees, and the fixed signs are Virgo or Pisces, you'll feel it. North Node, South Node activated, okay? And I'm going to throw Pisces and Virgo in this anyway, okay? Didn't even matter about, yeah, of course your birth chart, you feel it more. It's you, but any Pisces, any Virgo will feel this will mean the most. Now, here we are, 17th, 18th. We got the Sun conjuncting Uranus. Let's just breeze through this real quick, okay? There's just going to be, listen, it's strong. It's strong. You have a Uranus Kazemi. This happens once a year, okay? It's rare. It's once a year. And the chances of something sudden and unexpected change are high. That's a Uranus Kazemi. You will feel this, but again, you can use this. What did I say? Uranus wants you to shake things up. It's like, let's get out of our comfort zone. I'm working with the North Node in your sign. Yeah? Your destiny, your future. Let's shake things up, okay? Change is the only constant in this world. Now, again, this is in your third house, so there's something here with communication. There's something here with messages. You may receive some news that you're like, what? You may receive, but again, you may say something to the world. You may announce something that's surprising to people. But either way, just be flexible. Again, you can use this. It's just saying to shake things up, maybe in the way that you communicate or who you're communicating it with. Or maybe, third house is also, it's communication. It could be marketing, advertising, PR. Are you doing things a different way? You need to do some things in a different way. That's what Uranus is saying. It doesn't say, it's you don't have to do a whole, start from scratch. It's just saying go within and let's see what we can change. Okay, so just be flexible around this time. All right, and we'll obviously talk about more. The other thing is that what makes this really amplified is Mercury will square Mars this day too. So if there's anyone, Pisces, that... Okay, it's not just that. I'll tell you now. Well, I already told you. Remember, Uranus is sextiling the North Node in your sign, which you will feel strongly the first 2 weeks of May, but all of May. And it's trining the South Node and even sextiling Saturn in your sign still, at a really late degree. So what does this mean? It means that there's something that really has to be shooketh for you, for your destiny, for your future, for your long-term goals and commitments here, okay? Remember, you create your reality, okay? You want to use these aspects, don't let them use you. With Mercury square Mars in Leo in your 6th house, it is everyday activities. That's what it rules, okay? And so, secondly, I did say work, colleagues, employees, bosses, things like that, or doctors, or personal trainers. It's your 6th house. Be mindful about the way that you remember communicating, all right? There may be a colleague that says something to you that you're just like, Be responsive, not reactive. Now, Taurus and Aquarius will feel this the most. If you have any planets between 24 to 29 degrees in any of the fixed signs, or Pisces and Virgo, or 0 to 5 degrees of Aquarius or Aries, you're going to feel this, because of a lot of the other things that are happening that I'll talk about in your weekly forecast. Now, and all Pisces and Virgo, obviously, you're just going to feel it. You've got the North Node in your sign. I'm going to tell you something here real quick. Another reason why you, out of all the signs, Pisces, may feel this the most. We'll talk about your weekly forecast. It's not on the whiteboard. Jupiter will square the North Node in your sign. Okay, we'll talk about in your weekly forecast. It's Jupiter. It's fine. We'll talk about it. Okay. Now, May 20th, we got Gemini season. This is great. Okay. So what does this mean for you for the next 4 weeks? Gemini is the communicator. What did I say about communicating? Look at all these Mercury aspects. Mercury's all about communication. All right. So what's going to happen for the next 4 weeks for you? You are going to have a lot of moments where you're going to say like, oh, I've had the most stimulating conversations that open doors for me. Or, oh, I took a trip that changed my perspective. I had a light bulb moment, or it changed my life. Or, oh, I'm killing it on social media. Or, I've had great job interviews. Yes, that's the vibe for the next 4 weeks. But the emphasis for you is the foundations of your life and home and family. Remember, your 4th house, that's where what Gemini rules for you. And you will feel this. Jupiter, being your ruling planet, is in Gemini too. Okay? And we are approaching that Jupiter-Saturn square. And of course, we'll talk about that. But that's just like we've already gone through 2. You're going to be fine. Like, that's the thing. Everyone's already. Anyway, use this energy. Remember, this is all about marketing, advertising, small business, local community, writing, researching, doing something new, studying something new. It's all in the name of stimulation, mental stimulation, intellectual stimulation, and yes, movement as well. Okay, we're talking about Hermes here. Okay, the ruler of we're talking about Mercury, and so, but again, remember the emphasis a lot of it will be like home related or the foundations of your life. Okay, but this is all about you with the North Node activated strongly in your sign this month, and all this Aries energy in your 2nd house of self-worth and self-value. Anyway, okay, there's remember you're coming after Saturn conjuncting the North Node. Okay, and Venus conjuncting the North Node, all in your sign, and Saturn conjuncting Venus. So anyway, you're going. That happened in your sign too. Okay, and some of y'all are possibly still feeling it if you're watching this video the day it comes out. So anyway, please plant seeds now. This is why I do this for you. You've got to take advantage throughout Gemini season. Conversations, texts, emails, DMs, megaphone. It doesn't matter. Okay. Be social, please, please, please. Okay, at least keep your lines of communication open because of what's happening. Just remember, we're moving into June, one of the luckiest months. One of the luckiest months. I'll tell you now. This is why I want you to get excited, Pisces. Look at what's happening. You've got, when we get to June, the luckiest aspects of 2025, and yes, that's plural, of 2025, happen to be in June. We have a new moon. Yeah? In Cancer, that is conjuncting Jupiter. When was the last time you saw that? In June. And by the way, Jupiter's changing signs, moving into Cancer, where it's exalted. And that's your BFF, your fellow water sign. So, will you feel that a lot? Oh, yeah. It's in your 5th house of joy and pleasure and true love and romance and creative projects and creativity and procreation. A lot of y'all having sex. Remember, Jupiter is like giving birth to. Anyway, amazing, because you have that for a year and you haven't had that in 12 years. You got the Sun sextiling Saturn on that same, like, come on. As soon as we move into Gemini season, Saturn's still in your sign. So remember, he's authority, and sure, limitations and restrictions, but he builds you those bridges. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something here. You got the Sun sextiling Saturn. How enormously special is this for you? And then look at what's happening with Saturn all month. And again, we'll talk about this. Saturn, who is normally really hard on you, is going to be very easy on you now. Like, here's a silver platter, Pisces. All right. Now, and you know what? Actually, I'm looking at what's going on. Okay, let me just see something here. Pisces, oh my goodness. Please, okay, so things are going to happen for you in a big way. The 20th, 21st, even the 22nd when Venus trine Mars. Why? Because the moon will be in your sign. We'll talk about that. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Venus trine Mars. Okay, let me do a time check. Okay, yeah, Venus trine Mars, amazing. Absolutely amazing. This, obviously, you know what happens when Venus and Mars gets together. We've already had this a couple times, but I told you this one's very different. It's the last one of 2025. Please take advantage. Again, you know what happens when the two cosmic lovebirds get together. But it's also creativity too, creative projects. But when I see what's going on for you, there is something major happening here with work and money. Work and money. Okay. Now, not on the whiteboard, the Sun sextiling Neptune. We'll talk about that. It's insane. It's so great. And it leads right into the 24th and the 25th of May. Okay. And yes, I say that because a lot of these aspects and ingresses happen like right at midnight or around that time. So depending on where you live, here we are, Saturn moving into Aries. All right. So big moment. Big moment. The fact that this is happening like right after the moon was in your sign, then goes into the second house of your self-worth, self-value, and money. Anyway, you got Saturn moving into Aries, first time since the 90s, but so Saturn's going to be here until September, okay? And I really want you to pay attention to this because you're the only sign I'm going to tell this to for now. Saturn is now with Neptune up until September. And then Saturn will be in its permanent, station February 2026 for a few years with Neptune. Okay. Remember, Neptune's in Aries for 14 years. And I will do a separate live stream on this because it's huge. But what does this mean? From this point forward until September, you are getting a preview of what your life is going to be like from February 2026 and beyond. And so, what did I say? Plant seeds, take action, visualize. Where do you want to be by February 2026? Because you create your reality. Saturn is reality. So you can put yourself on that timeline. And it's happening in Aries, the initiator, the leader, the entrepreneur. Use this, okay? Because after September, from September until February, Saturn moves back into your sign. So this is a big year for you. You got the North Node in your sign all year, okay? Neptune actually goes back to your sign too. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. But now, remember, Saturn and Neptune together in Aries in your second house of money, income, finances, salary, where they're helping you. Wow. And self-worth and self-value and material possessions and the things that you desire anyway, your physical world. Anyway, here's the thing. I just got to tell you the sheer magnitude of this. Why is this such a big deal? Because now we have Saturn conjuncting Neptune in Aries. This has only happened 7 times in modern human history. 7. Think about the thousands of years we've been here, right? The last time was March 1703, all right? Hundreds of years since we had Saturn and Neptune in Aries in your second house, okay? And we can trace it back. The first time was 593 BC. Wow. And sure, listen, I'm sure it's happened before that. I'm sure it happened maybe 4,000 years ago, 3,000, whatever. Yeah, but I'm talking about modern human history. All right. So as I explained in your 2025 forecast, because I got to make this clear for you, Pisces, this is such a big deal for you. Saturn and Neptune, they're at a house party. They're on the dance floor. They're grooving out, okay, to delight, right? And they're vibing, but they haven't met yet. When are they going to meet? That's going to be February 2026. And that is going to be a powerful conjunction because that's when they perfect. And that's when they perfect at 0 degrees. The beginning of the beginning, the creation degree, as I explained, never experience ever. You can't trace that back. Again, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. Like thousands and thousands and thousands. So that's how big 2026 will be. And that's how big this summer will be in terms of where do you want to be when we get to February. All right. And this is why I've been harping on that 0 degree point, the 6 planet conjunction that was happening in your sign, you and Aries, but right there since mid-March, since your birthday season. All those big, that's big. Okay. So that big wave you've been riding, we're leaving that intensity now. Remember, like I said, it brought you here. So this is going to be really big. All right. And we'll talk about more but I just have to tell you. Okay. So what is Saturn? Okay. Here's the thing. Since the very first dinosaur roamed this planet, I have told you Saturn is authority and the taskmaster and discipline and boundaries, limitations, restrictions, life lessons, therefore karma. Yeah? Saturn, which has been in your sign, you've been learning a lot about you and what you want and your future and your destiny and your purpose. Yeah? So Saturn, who is life lessons. Like I said, you work with his rules, you learn your lessons, you pass, you move on to the next cycle. And then Saturn brings that structure and stability, long-term goals and growth and profit and gains and commitment in it for the long haul, not the short haul, the long haul. Okay? There's no shortcuts with Saturn. Okay? But everything that I just said, how big was that? Oh, we haven't even gotten started. Saturn, now that he's moving into Aries with Neptune, they're going to be sextiling Uranus and Pluto. When has that happened in history? Okay? Big, because they're all aspecting. And it's happening now, but it's a buildup. You feel it strongly over the summer. So I said, this is going to be the biggest summer of your lifetime. This is going to be the biggest month of your lifetime. This is big. So again, that you will feel it greatly. June, July, August. What are sextiles? They're windows of opportunity. I've explained sextile to you. So again, Saturn normally doesn't give out handouts this easy. Use this, please. Please. Now, there is a catch. There is a catch. So, Saturn is moving into Aries, right? The sign of I am, self-starter, initiation, pioneering spirit, consciousness, everything that I mentioned, okay? Entrepreneurship. I already told you about Neptune in Aries. Look at that live stream. And please actually look at it, because what's happening, again, it's just going to give you a little bit, and I tell you what it means for you. It gives you a primer of what you can expect and how to use it to your benefit, because now you have Saturn joining Neptune, but Saturn alone in Aries. That's working hard for you, for mastery of self, life lessons, okay? And it's in your second house of self-worth and self-value. And so, yeah, Saturn, like I said, is reality. Remember, whenever we have those challenging aspects with Saturn, I say reality checks. That's what Saturn does, okay? And he's in a fiery sign that's like, let's go, let's do it. Initiate. I'm like fiery. I'm Aries. Let's do it. Right? No. Saturn's like, no, I'm in it for the long haul. That's the catch. So what does this mean for you? Tap into your Mr. Miyagi and inside. Okay. Wax on, wax off. Okay. You can't go to the karate tournament because a bully pushed you or whatever. You got to learn how to do karate. If you want to win, you got to learn. And it takes patience. That's Saturn. So that's the only catch, because there's going to be a parts of you this summer you're like, oh, let's do it. Saturn's going to be like, nope, we're going to do it the long way. All right. So that's the only thing. It's all about practicing patience. That's all it is. Okay. Wax on, wax off. Practice makes perfect. All right. You will definitely be doing a lot more independent. You're going to be feeling a lot more independent. You're going to feel a lot more growth within. And then again, this is all about money and finances and resources. That's where the life lessons are moving into for you. But again, Saturn's making things so easy this summer. It's insane. Of course, there's still going to be challenging Saturn aspects, but you got to look at the big picture. All right. And remember, Aries does have that rebellious vibe and whatnot. So it really is like that structured experience is what you're going to experience. Okay. You are going to do the crane. Everyone's going to cheer, but you got to wax on, wax off. Okay. Remember, Neptune's here too. Neptune is your ruling planet. That's why this is a big deal. I told you Neptune is dreams and Saturn's reality. So Saturn makes your dreams become reality, but you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. Okay. Be assertive, be goal driven, all of that, but wax on, wax off. Okay. And then you earn your karma points. Now, I've been telling all the other signs, slow and steady wins the race. Practice patience. This is not hit the ground running. This is hit the ground speed. speed walking. But for you Pisces, with a North Node in your sign, things are a little different. And with all that's happening, things are going to be moving fast for you. So it's more about you keeping up, right? So you're going to be fine. You're going to be great. All right. Just look at my last live streams. I talk about all this, like, and again, I'll do another video just on this alone. But above all of this, you create your reality. Okay. Just remember that. Why do you think people say life is what you make it? Right? Thousands of years. I always say you create your reality because you do. So take action, as above, so below. Now, let's see, where are we? Oh gosh, okay, so yeah, and then you got the Sun trine Pluto, which is absolutely amazing. You got Mercury conjunct Uranus. This is absolutely amazing. By the way, you're going to have this is a rare once a year aspect that is amazing, where you get surprising, unexpected news that are in your favor. It's Mercury, okay? Breakthrough ideas too. It's all about your future right here. Consider this a new cycle, but this is happening again in your third house of the messenger of communication. So you are definitely going to get great news around this time. Maybe around finances, maybe big breakthroughs in finances. Remember, Uranus is in Taurus, a finance sign. That's happening in your third house. So there could be something about a business, LLC, something with family, travel. There's everything I mentioned. Okay. So the other thing, contracts, agreements. Now, Mercury does move into Gemini and it's domicile. There you go. You're going to be communicative AF. Please communicate, because this is great. A lot of it, again, the foundations of your life, and home and real estate and family, love, your significant other, things like that. Mercury, you see, will sextile Saturn in Aries. It's 0 degrees. We talked about this. All right. So there you go. Saturn building something for you all month. Agreements, contracts, longevity here. All right. Now, the 26th, May 26th, May 27th, depending on where you live, because this is happening, remember, 11 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. That's New York City time, wherever you are in the world, just convert it. You got a new moon in Gemini. It's a super moon. And I told you, okay? In your annual forecast, this is one of the best new moons of the year. Why? It's conjuncting Mercury. It's trining Pluto. It's sextiling Neptune and Saturn. Mercury sextiling Saturn. Are you joking me? Use it. Please do. Okay? Please use this. You want to plant seeds. This is very enthusiastic, this new moon. Again, a lot of collaboration. There's something here with contracts, agreements, and leases for y'all. There's something here with family. There's something about real estate. Some of y'all are going to be buying property. You're going to feel this for what do you want for 6 months, right? You're going to feel magnetic. But remember, you need to communicate. But there's something with agreements, contracts, new clients, you starting a business, something big here. Okay. Now, Mercury will trine Pluto too. There you go. There's your long term. Listen, there's a lot happening for you. Let's get started. Oh, and then we do have a Mercury Cazimi. Listen, like I said, the last week, there's someone opening doors for you. Too. Let's see what's going on for you, Pisces, for May 2025. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. Pisces, let's do it. How are y'all doing, Pisces? My secret crush. You know, I love y'all. I'm just thinking about, did I put lip balm on right in front of you? I don't remember. Maybe I do. It is, you're good. You're good. I do a traditional cult to crossbred, offers the best overview. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Secondly, Pisces, you know I love y'all. Let's get started, okay? Oh yeah. This is gonna be a month. All right. Get ready. Buckle up. You're good. You know you're good. But let's get you got the moon. There you go. Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised. I said the lunations this month are going to be really strong. and you got the moon. So as you move into this month, you're gonna feel it. The moon is the subconscious. The moon in tarot is attributed to Pisces. You got your own card here. Okay. Now, here's the thing. This again, remember, subconscious, that's the moon, right? You've got Pluto going retrograde in your 12th house anyway. Go within. Go within. What did I say? The 12th house, the lower expressions are self-sabotage. Yeah? Self-sabotage. What is the subconscious? It's where we store our memories. What is making you get in your own way? What are you telling yourself, like, I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve, or why is this not, like, no, explore, go within, explore, and do not be afraid to. That's the biggest thing. Because the 12th house, there is an element of facing things up, those low energy frequencies. And like I said, hidden enemies. Why is that a big deal for you? You got the South Node in Virgo in your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, one-on-one commitments. But when you see everything happening for you this month, it's open enemies. Is there someone in your life that you're now realizing, it doesn't matter. This is you. Use this. Go within. The moon is intuition. Trust your intuition. We all have intuition. You know that. It's a matter of connecting. Hemisync. Pisces, I love y'all. All right, so you got this. All right. You even see the hermit's facing the moon. What I say? Go within. Yeah? You're going to be fine. All right. It's just there's those columns, those towers up here. You got to break them down. You got to think of new ways of doing things. And then it all ends. Remember what I said. This is a month of death and rebirth. There you go. This is the card of new dawn. You see the sun coming out of the horizon? The sun that only appears in a few cards outside of the actual sun card. This is a 10. 10 is the end. It's the end of the suit. Anything that's been going on in here, done. But what did I say about life lessons and karma, especially with the North Node in your sign all year, but highly activated this month? And you're coming out of those conjunctions with the North Node. Anything that's been really hard for you, anything that's been really challenging, anything that you were just like, okay, I've hit the bottom. Rise on up. The only way you can is when you take those things that were challenging for you and you use it to empower you. Okay? That's life lessons. When you do that, you never have to go through that cycle again. That's what karma is. Life lessons. So use anything that was challenging to empower you. A lot of it's going to have to do with home and family. Like I said, that's going to be a big thing, but it's just you. It's just you. Remember, and I'm going to show you, look at this hand gesture. All right. Same hand gesture as the Hierophant. So it's actually a blessing in disguise is what this is saying. It's in the heart of your spread for the month. You're going through a big transformation this month. Whatever's happened is you're meant to learn from it, to feel empowered. Okay? That's what life is. Life is full of challenges. I talk about this all the time. Life is not a Disney movie. We have challenges all the time to grow. Okay? But I also say, think of any Disney movie, any of those main characters go through challenges to have that fairy tale ending. Okay? And you're going to be fine. You got that 2 of Wands here. In your challenge area, 2 things coming up. 1, you got to move. You got to do things. Don't be stuck and don't hesitate and don't doubt yourself, especially around that full moon in Scorpio. But just do not doubt yourself this month. You have a lot happening in your 2nd house. What did I say? That self-worth and self-value. The lower expression would be self-doubt. You got Pluto and Aquarius in your 12th house. The lower expression would be self-sabotage. When you got that 2 of Wands here, you got to move. You got to do things. Okay? You can't plan anymore. You can't feel stuck. You got to take that action. Okay? You want it. Look, you got the 3 of Wands in your crown. You want it. You got to take, look, I'm going to show you something here. Look at, okay, so he wonderful, amazing card. One of the most underestimated cards too, because this card is attributed to Mars and Aries. Okay, what did I say about Aries? It rules your second house and it's activated all month. You got to look at, so great. He's got the world in his hand. He's standing at the highest point in the castle. He's planning his next steps. However, it's in your challenge area, where you got that 10 of swords. Look at he got 1 foot in, he got 1 foot out. Look at the wands. There's one wand in. Look at this wand bolted to the wall. Wands do not like being bolted down. You got to do something. You got to move. You got to shake things up. Remember, I said Uranus. You got to use it. Shake things up. Have your breakthroughs, okay? Because this is indicating, look at your entire story. It's indicating to me that there is something here where it's like, okay, there's this pause, but I'm kind of stuck. Yeah. Second thing. Yeah. There's a second message for you, Pisces. It's not you. There's someone in your life that may be a little, okay, well, you're ready to go. You've learned you're ready. But there's someone in your life this month that may be a little, you know? But you got to remember, you got to be communicative. You want to go. You got the 3 of Wands. You want to go. You're ready. This card is all about movement. It's all sky here. What do we say? The sky's the limit. He's ready. He's ready to go explore, communicate, meet people, play chess with people, things like that. He's ready to go out there and do things because wands are your passions, ambition. Remember, I said you're going to feel that tenacity in your bones. You want it. It's in your crown. You want it. You know it. So go forth. All right? Because it's all in the name of self-discovery too. Temperance and the root of your spread. I like that. You got an archangel. You got an archangel in the root of your spread. Really great. Enjoy life. Okay? We got one life to live. Make the most of it, like I said. In this physical world at this time, one life to live. But anyway, this is great. You got Archangel Michael here to saying there is a part of you where it's like, okay, yeah, Jimmy's right. Practice, it makes perfect, wax on, wax off. That's what this is saying. Everything that you want, you're going to get. And secretly, that. You're intuitive. AF, right? But there is a little bit of up here, over analyzing, overthinking, and just, you know what I mean? Trust your intuition. You see the disc on his forehead, right on the pineal gland, right? Your third eye, your sixth sense, all of that. You see that pathway leading to the crowned sun? Map out your future and know that you're going to get there. And remember, visualize. It's all about balance, moderation, and avoiding extremes too. Hangman in your future. I'm not surprised. Look at what's happening here. Look across your cross. You're going through this big evolution this month. I told you this is going to be one of the biggest months for you. And the Hangman is your card. You know that, right? It's also attributed to Neptune too. I mean, this is you. This is someone, what did I say about perspective? And really pay attention to the full moon in the middle of the month that you're going to feel a week before, a week after. Okay? The Hangman, all about, he put himself upside down in a very dramatic way because he wanted to see things in a new way. He wanted to see the world with a new perspective. You see the halo around his head? You see the smile on his face? It's the best thing he ever did. What comes after the Hangman? The Death card. He's preparing for this big transformation that he's going to have in his life. Now, in order to do that, what do you have to do? Shake things up and look at things in a new perspective. That's what you're going to do. You're entering this new cycle, all right? And in order to have all of that, surrender. Okay? Things up here. Remember I said unroot things? That's what he did. This is sacrifice. Look at his legs. There's something here. There's an association to the world card, right? The end of the major arcana where, the dancing figure has her legs crossed too. So anyway, You're good. Just make some. We got to surrender some things. Let's get to your stuff. Pisces. Oh my goodness. How long? Okay. Pisces. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. Pisces, y'all are amazing. You know I love y'all. And tell me, you are going through a big, this is going to be one of the biggest months of the year for you. But remember, it's a great month. So take all the opportunities. Look at this. Okay. Wow. Did I mention that you're going to be doing a lot of shadow work with the fact that you got Pluto going retrograde in the 12th house and you got that full moon in Scorpio? That's all about shadow work anyway. Okay. You got the Six of Pentacles. What you put out there, you get back. You've heard about the law of attraction. Okay. And this is wealth and this is money and it's finances. What I talk about, that balance with temperance. And temperance is also mixing things up, shaking things up. The temperance was known as an alchemist before temperance. Look at even the cups. Try different things. What works for you? Now, you see the scale in his hand? Yeah, there you go. Okay, that balance. And this is wealth. All right. It's also spiritual wealth. All right. This is harmony. 6 is a wonderful number. Look at the philanthropic man. Okay. So a lot of y'all, like I said, are going to be the role models, the wise ones. And that's really, kicking up your frequency, that high energy. And you are going to be giving back. And in return, you're going to be receiving. But same thing here is when you let things go, you make room for all of this. If you're seeking support, here it comes. Just remember everything I said. You got the Nine of Swords too. Okay. So remember what I said earlier. I was getting a feeling that this was someone else. Well, there you go. Yeah. So there is someone else that's part of your journey. And I just want you to be very mindful in the way that you do communicate with other people. All right. Because sure, there may be people, I've told you this before, there may be people who they try to put you in low energy frequency. You don't back at them. You bring them out of their low energy frequency. Yeah? All right? So, yeah. And it's still, honestly, there is an element when you look at your entire spread where if you don't have that change of perspective and surrender things, you still could be in this place like, I can't sleep at night. Maybe I'm overanalyzing things or overthinking things. But the bigger energy coming through for me is that there is someone along your journey, and it could be someone in the workplace. It could be someone in family. There is someone there that we've got to talk. Leave your lines of communication open. All you want is to be emotionally stable, and you want to be that person. You want to be that rock for other people. If you are a cross watcher, you can't cuss me coming out a lot. Yeah, that's great. He is very intuitive, and he leads with his heart. Remember, heart-based living. Okay, really wonderful. Really pay attention to that full moon in Scorpio. He is Scorpio. Okay, there's going to be something there that is going to, it's almost like this sigh of relief that I'm getting for y'all. But remember, you got to use it, and you got to unroot things and let things illuminate and end things. And here's your affirmation. Okay, the devil. And your final outcome, the devil is everything that you think the devil would represent. Okay, it's addictions, bad behaviors, pessimistic thinking, codependency in a relationship. What is going on that you see the two people from the Lover's card, by the way, attached to the devil with these chains? So yeah, it can be love in relationships, but it doesn't matter. You have a toxic boss? Do you have a toxic colleague? What's there that you need okay? These chains, by the way, they're loose. They can break free anytime they want. But they got to know what those chains are. So there is an element of let's figure this out. Let's go deep. I don't want this energy vampire taking away all my energy. No, I'm not going to allow that. Hell no. Get it? With the devil? Anyway, Pisces, you're gonna be fine. You just gotta let some things go, and it looks like you will. It looks like you will. You're gonna be fine. You clearly are going through a big, I would even say like soul, like spiritual, like a major, yeah. But you can see everything is here is telling you to let go. Okay, illuminate, break down those up here, anything that's holding you back. Let that go. Let things go so you can have this transformation. Let go. Let go. Everything in here, you want to move forward. Okay? That. So, you see, there's going to be some things that you're going to have to let go to let in the new. Let's break it down week by week. Pisces, first week, Venus conjunct Neptune. Beautiful aspect. Pluto going retrograde. Couple other things, but I see the time. Let's see what's going on for you for the first week. Mercury sextile Jupiter, the first week of May. We got to work, okay? We got to work. This is, like I said, when Pluto goes retrograde in your 12th house, you can use that in a really powerful way. Okay? It is in your 12th house. What did I say the 12th house is? The lower expressions would be self-sabotage. This we call the self-victim card. What are you refusing to see? What is up here that needs to, it's like you need to take a sledgehammer to break those, you know what I mean? Like, but the fact that you got the 8, 9, and 10 of swords is really showing, remember I said it's going to be a very, with Mercury in 3 signs and very active with a lot of aspects, it's going to be a lot going on up here. And swords are the mental suit. You're thinking, processing, analyzing, all of that. Are you overthinking things? Are you, listen, I always talk about the mind-heart coherence, but also just mind, body, spirit. Remember, it's more about what's going on inside with your spirit, with your soul, with your intuition as well. I'll even clarify that 8 of swords. Oh my gosh, oh yeah, look what happens when you just, her feet are free. She can walk out anytime she wants. All right. The biggest message that I'm getting in the 4 of swords is peace of mind. Yeah. The biggest message I'm getting is it feels like there is someone putting you there. Okay. So just recognize that. And it can be anyone. You got a lot of work stuff. Mars can get a little heated in Leo in your success at work. And it could be, again, like a doctor or a physical therapist or a personal trainer, vet, nutritionist. But it could be, you got so much family stuff, partnership stuff, love stuff. All right, let's see what's going on for the second week. Second week is the full moon, Scorpio, and Uranus Kazemi. There we go. That one. All right. Your life can change this month. I told you it's a life-changing month. There you go. You got the Wheel of Fortune. You got that. Listen, you got, okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, that's a karmic new path opening, a fated new path opening up for you. The week that everything changes with the Uranus Kazemi, where you want to shake things up after that full moon, which is all about endings for this new beginning, you got to use it. This wheel is constantly, this card is associated with karma. This wheel is constantly turning. Constantly, you got to constantly work on your karma. But for you, there's a lot you got to let go up here. Yeah, there's a lot. Okay. But that's amazing. Wheel of Fortune, jackpot. All right. It's a 10, first of all. 1 0 equals 1, new beginning. It's attributed to Jupiter. Luck and good fortune. It is the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see the third week. We move into Gemini season. There you go. The Hermit. All right. So remember what I said. You've already got the moon, which is card 18, right? 1 plus 8 equals 9. What did I say? Whose face is in the moon? The Hermit, card 9. You got to do that soul searching. You got to go really deep. And the third week is when you do it. That is also the week that Jupiter will square the North Node in your sign. And again, I'm not telling you that we're going to talk about your weekly forecast, but it's a feel. Go deep. That inner wisdom. Okay? Do that soul searching. Where do you want to be by February 2026? You got all summer, but it starts now. And then the last week, amazing, with a new moon in Gemini and all those other aspects. And then remember, you got Saturn and Neptune in Aries, first time in like some of the 1700s. Let's see what's going on for you, Pisces, for the last week of May. Oh. I always say... by the way, if you're new to my channel, I told you you're my secret crush. Well, Pisces tattoo. I'm an Aquarius, but it's for someone dear to me. You're good. You're good. You go deep. There's a new path opening up for you. Okay? It could be a couple actually. You create a reality, right? There's so many different timelines and you're putting yourself on that timeline, like that path anyway, but there's got to be something like, let's go deep. Everything here is saying, let's go deep. What did you get in your future? The Hanged Man. What did I say comes after the Hanged Man? The Death card. You're about to have some major transformation. This is a card that I always say doesn't come up enough. It doesn't come up enough. It's only come up in like two signs this month, maybe 3 so far. The Death card attributed to Scorpio. This is the end of the old, the beginning of the new. Okay? We've talked about this in your last reading. What I talk about the sun only appearing in a few cards outside the actual sun card. You see the sun coming out on the horizon? You got 2 suns coming out on the horizon. You even got the crowned sun here. The sun, opportunities, optimism, everything. But I'm going to show you something here. You see the 2 same towers in the moon and the sun, or in the Death card, right? There's 2 same ones. You gotta you gotta break some of those things down to move forward. This is just saying you're about to go through enormous change, but you gotta accept the change that's happening. But it feels like I don't have to tell you that. Like, you're just going to anyway, and you want it anyway. You're going on a new path anyway. That's part of your transformation. And again, please pay attention to that full moon, and we'll talk about it more in your weekly forecast. And yes, the second spread. Oh my gosh, Pisces, this is the length of a movie. What? Okay. Second spread. I'm gonna look at career. We're gonna look at love. We're gonna look at a bunch of things. Okay. So tier 3 members, and I got 2 decks. That's the other thing. Anyone's welcome to join. We have a lot of fun. But one thing that we do that it's almost like clarifiers to our main spread is that we always look for, if there's a card, the same card that comes up from these decks, the universe is sending you a signal. Anyway, Pisces, I love y'all. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. And then next week, we'll go deeper in the aspects. Again, life-changing month for you, but really, you got to let some things go. And then the best week of May would be the last week, and you got some really great stuff happening. Remember, there's this window that it's moving into. Anyway, you're good. You're amazing. Just let's have that new perspective and let things go. You got to know what it is. You're amazing. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.